And when he did that, I did what I do when I'm in that kind of situation. I fucking hate bullies. I've always hated bullies. And I've always found these people to be the most, really disgusting type of people at all. I really, really have a major problem with these types of people. So I proceeded to shout to him, fuck off, fuck you, coward, you're a fucking coward. And eventually some of the Israelis, one of them got behind me, grabbed me and got me in a chokehold and literally cut off. I could not breathe. They were kicking me and punching me, and blood was flowing all over the place. And I remember that was the only time in the whole experience where I honestly thought, shit, I might not make it here. This guy has got control. If you've ever been in a chokehold, it's a very helpless position to be in, really. It's, once somebody's got you locked in, they pretty much own you at that point. So that guy could have killed me. And I remember thinking, shit, I wonder, is he gonna let go? To his credit, he did obviously let go. At a certain point, I was wrestled to the ground and I resisted. To a certain point where I realized I used to be a free diver. I used to do breath hold diving. I could dive at the best. I could hold my breath for about 4 minutes. So I knew a thing or two about how long you can actually hold your breath before you're going to go unconscious, and then eventually you're going to die if you don't breathe. And so when I knew I was seconds away from going unconscious, I went limp, and they let me go. I was, again, full of blood, and they were then, at that point, it was a little bit of a problem. We were all getting on a plane to go to Turkey, and again, this is a little bit of a public relations issue now. And they were all wanting to clean me up and dress the wound, and I refused any kind of treatment in that regard. So I was full of blood, and they basically loaded everybody onto the planes. They were intending to load me on the plane, but there was no way they were going to let me on the plane looking like that. So I managed to stay a little bit longer. I was there for another couple of days. Everyone else had gone, as far as I understand it. I was the last one there who didn't have serious injuries. There were some who were so seriously injured they were in hospital, and they were the only ones. And while I was there for 2 days, eventually I washed myself, and I got beaten up again while I was in their detention, and I had blood again all over. Opened up the wound and I had blood all over. And at that point I said, well, fuck it, I'm not washing this anymore. So whatever, And went through one thing or another, and I actually did get this ridiculous little mock sort of trial type thing where they said they brought in an Israeli judge, and I was able to give my testimony to this Israeli judge, and he made some decision, and of course the conclusion was, yeah, no, we did everything right, and you're to be lawfully deported. And so eventually, after 2 days, they said, okay, look, we're deporting you now, you need to wash your face. And I said, no, I'm not washing my face, you fucking took everything else. By the way, they stole all of our shit. I had cameras, I had a computer, MacBook Pro, they stole all of it. They stole everybody's shit, really, with almost no exceptions. And so my thinking was, you fucking stole everything, I'm going to keep my bloody clothes and my bloody face, and you're not going to be able to take that away from me. And it got to the point where they actually called the Irish consul in Israel. I never asked for American help at all. I would never ask for American help, quite frankly. And the consul was pretty much begging me to wash my face, because they were saying they're not going to let you go unless you wash your face. Well, I don't want to fucking go anyway, so I'm not washing my face, but thank you very much for the concern. And so eventually the Israelis relented, and they said, fuck it, send him off.